Good morning, friends. Welcome to what I hope will be the first in a series of spring vlogs. I was kind of hoping to do something like this last autumn, but it just didn't happen. It was too soon after having a baby. So, hopefully, now that baby Tam is about, well, he's almost 7 months old, I'll be able to do a few more little vlogs here and there. But before I get any further, hi, hello, I am so happy that you're here. I'm Emily, and this is my channel where I typically talk about knitting, sewing, homemaking, books, all kinds of sorts of wholesome, cozy things. And like I said, this is just going to be one of my spring vlogs. Today the weather is supposed to be absolutely marvelous. It's supposed to get up to about 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is just blowing my mind this year how early spring has arrived. Like, I am not complaining at all whatsoever. But like, all of the trees are blossoming. I've seen so many daffodils, and this has been happening since like mid-February, which is crazy early. And even in the forecast, it's not supposed to get below like in the mid-50s for the next like 10 days that you can see. But yeah, so spring definitely feels like it's arrived. But today, part of the reason why I decided to go ahead and just start filming is that I have to run a few errands today, and I thought it might be kind of fun to, even if I don't necessarily take you along with me per se, I can kind of show you some of the things that I'm planning to do and talk about if I'm planning to go to Goodwill. So I'll probably buy a couple of things there. I'm looking specifically for some pillowcases, possibly vintage sheets, and I have to drop off a few things, so that's why I would be going. But yeah, so after that, I have to run to the post office. I actually have to ship this. It was my mom's birthday a few days ago, and I thought about doing this probably at the beginning of February, but it took me forever to get around to it. But I made my mom this fun little piece of artwork with baby Tam's. Baby Tam, if you're new here, he's my son. That's not his actual name. That is his. Could you call it a pseudonym? It's his online handle. I don't know. It's just my husband is a little bit leery of you know, showing our kids or talking about their actual names online, which I respect, I understand. It makes me a little bit sad because there's several people that I follow that I know also follow me and watch the stuff that I put out there that I would just love to be able to tell them my baby's actual name and like talk all about it, but unfortunately in the day and age that we live in, there are creeps out there, and so I understand and respect my husband. It's something that we've kind of a little bit compromised on. If you've watched any of my other videos, you will know that baby Tam has made a regular appearance since he was born, and it's one of those things that I realized that if I wanted to make videos, I couldn't completely omit having him in them for right now while he's a baby. So expect to see less and less of him as time goes by, unfortunately. I know there's some of you out there that have really loved getting to see him, which makes me happy because I think he's the most adorable baby in the world, but I know that I'm a little bit biased. But anyway, so our compromise was that my husband Micah, he doesn't care so much about babies being in my video when they're little, when they're babies, but just as they get older, he'd prefer not to. And so our compromise is that we're just not sharing his actual name. Anyway, so I made this. I just had some inexpensive acrylic paints that I just painted on baby Tam's hands and feet, and he was so confused. It was hilarious. This one right here was the first one, which you can see did not turn out very well. He was just incredibly confused. But then I came back in afterwards and added in all like the green and all the other stuff, and I put some, you can kind of sort of see it on this one, I put some metallic paint on it. Yeah, so I need to get this shipped off because, like I said, my mom's birthday was a few days ago, so it's late. So I have to go to Walmart and buy a, I guess like the bubble mailers that this will fit into, and then I have to go to the post office and ship it and all that. And where I live, the town that I live in, the post office that I would go to is close to, it's almost right across the street from Goodwill, and it's just down the road from our local library. So I have some books that need to go back to the library, and then also I can get Tammy and the Bachelor, which if you watched my most recent podcast episode, you know why I'm excited about that. Basically, one of the best movies that I've ever watched. Super sweet, wholesome 1950s movie. Excellent. The costumes in it are gorgeous. Just the whole story of it, super sweet, super wholesome, family friendly. I love it so much. And I had kind of forgotten about it, and I was reminded about it recently, and I really want to watch it again. So that's on the agenda. Right now, baby Tam is actually sleeping, which is nice because I was able to like do a quick clean through of the whole downstairs and do a little bit of tidying. I don't want to do too much up here because I don't want to be too loud and wake him up. We're really going to start trying this next week to help him figure out his napping schedules. I've been talking back and forth to my mom, which I will say, I am so grateful for my mother. And it's really funny. I want to give any of you moms out there that might have teenage daughters that are just in that phase where they're just kind of headstrong and they act like they hate you. There's hope, because I was one of those. Very, very much so. Like super much so. Just very kind of sad and depressed, and there were other circumstances that were, you know, contributed to some of that. But I was one of those daughters that told my mom I would never want you there when I have a baby, and I would, like, you know, I never want to marry somebody like my dad, and like those kinds of things. And it really made my mom very sad. But it's funny because I look back on it, and the first people that we told that I was pregnant outside of like Micah and I was my family. And I was talking to my mom, and the way that I told her was like, hey, if you're not busy, do you want to come and help me have a baby? It was like the first thing. And I've also laughed about it because I've realized that my husband is actually kind of similar to my dad in a lot of ways. Which is probably like why my parents like him so much. But yes, so to give you hope, people change. They change a lot from when they're teenagers to when they're, like, I'm in my late 20s now. I'm 27. So, to give you hope on that. But it's one of those things that I'm so, so grateful for my relationship with my mom and how it has developed and changed over the years, because it went through some really rough patches for a while. But she has been invaluable. Especially since having a baby. I can just kind of talk to her about different things and ask her advice on things, and that's what I was going to say. With the napping thing, I was asking my mom, because we've been really struggling with baby Tam. He'll stay up until like 10:30 or 11 at night, and that is just not my natural timing. I am very, very much a morning person, 100%. I super slow down, like, in the afternoon, evenings. I'm very morning. And so with baby Tam staying up so late, it has just been exhausting to me. And so I was asking my mom about it, and I told her, I was like, he's taking like 5-ish naps a day. And I was kind of realizing that it's because the thing is, I think that he just may have originally had trouble falling asleep until that late, but it may have gotten to the point now where his sleeping clock has kind of gotten switched around, so he's sleeping a bunch during the day and then staying up really late at night. And because the thing is too, he's still getting up anywhere from like 2 to 4 times in the night. It kind of depends. So my sleep schedule has been not great. And then he usually wakes up right around when Micah leaves for work, which is about 6:30 in the morning. And so then he naps a decent amount during the day, but he's been going back and forth on whether or not he'll do a contact nap or actually sleep by himself. Because the problem is sometimes I'll lay him down to sleep by himself. He'll sleep for 10 minutes and then he wakes up and he's just so cranky. He's such a sad little baby because he's so tired, but he just woke up. So sometimes I'm just like, I'm not going to even risk it. I'm just going to hold him. But anyway, so he is napping a little bit now, which is really nice. I'm planning to, that's what I was also saying, is that I'm planning to this week to start trying and adjusting his napping schedule so that I don't mind if he takes 2 naps in the morning. I'm fine with that. If I can, because he's taking 2 afternoon naps and an evening nap, so my goal is to cut it down to 1 afternoon nap and then shorten his evening nap significantly. So like last night we all went to bed at like 9 o'clock and he actually did really well. So I'm wondering if I might just need to readjust like my evening routine and whatnot. But anyway, I'm sure a lot of this has been very boring for many of you. But it's the nature of my life right now. But I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to go and do some knitting while he's still asleep. Hopefully he hasn't woken up and he's not awake in there. Because while he's still asleep, I'm going to do a little bit of knitting and then we're going to go ahead and go once he wakes up. Because I think it's probably about 8 o'clock now. So it's still fairly early in the morning. But yeah. I've just been talking and talking and talking. So it's just going to be kind of a fun little day in the life sort of a vlog. And some of these spring vlogs that I'm hoping to make from here until like May, June, some of them might just be day in the life, some of them might be like 2 or 3 days in the life, but I want to make more videos. And I'm also, this is a whole thing, my silly podcast. I'm debating whether or not to go back to doing it every other week, because when I did my podcast this last week, it was over an hour long, and I hate editing that much. I would say editing is like the bane of making YouTube videos. But also, like, that's just a really long video, so I'm trying to do some planning on figuring that out. And I'm also thinking about making a hand-dyed yarn mini-skein set and selling it, putting it up on the first day of spring, which is like March 21st or something, because I love springtime. And so I've been kind of like thinking about that this last week, and I'm really excited about it. I have an idea for it. So anyway, again, tangents. I'm gonna stop talking, otherwise I will just keep on talking, and this video is already like 12 minutes long. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. I ran all kinds of errands. Baby Tam's downstairs in his car seat asleep, so I want to quickly show you what I got. Because it was a goodwill day. So first off, a little backstory. I have been looking for months, absolutely months, for if not years, for a basic, just comfy, either denim or just blue skirt that like fit my style and stuff. And I found this one. I haven't tried it on yet. Let me do that real quick. You can't see it at all, but it is just this. Oh, this is perfect. I'm so happy. I have been looking for a skirt like this, just a basic like blue wear with everything sort of a skirt, and they're surprisingly hard to find. Most of the ones that I could find were all like pencil skirts, and with my body shape, like, pencil skirts don't work very well. But this was that goodwill today, and I saw it and I was just like, yes. And it's got a stretchy waist, which is perfect for postpartum and maternity and all of that. The only downside is it doesn't have pockets, but I can live with that. Then I found a couple of, well, this is a tablecloth. Isn't that just so cute? It's kind of glowing back here. But it is a tablecloth that's covered in pumpkins and acorns and ivy leaves, and it's got like gingham in the back. And I'm debating on whether or not I want to make this into a dress, a skirt, or an apron. But it's such a nice material, not too heavy, and I love this print so much. Oh. And then, I'm telling you, I was a little bit sad because I did leave one set of sheets behind because it was $4, which isn't that much, but I was trying to not spend too much. I'm kind of regretting it a little bit. I wish I'd grabbed them, but I know I was trying to do the frugal, responsible thing, so there's that. But is this not like the most springy? These are little flowers. It's so cute. I think this is just a flat sheet, and what I'm thinking about doing is making an apron, because this isn't necessarily my coloring. I don't like light fabrics for like dresses and things, so I'm thinking an apron with this as the border. And then I also realized on the way home that I could realistically probably take some of this, like just the border piece, some of the leftover, and make a project bag with that as like the contrast at the top. Oh, that would be so cute. So, super happy. This was $4. This pumpkin thing was $3. The skirt was $6. And then I took a peek at the books, because you can't not take a peek at the books. And I found some books. First off, super happy. Another Georgette Heyer. I've been slowly collecting Georgette Heyer books because she's amazing. And then, super happy about these. I got some board books. Jan Brett, if you're not familiar, she is a phenomenal artist. And I have several books by her already. And I realized that she also has several of her books in board book editions. And I have one, I think, and these were all on the shelf together. So this is the hat, gingerbread baby, and the mitten. And like, just her artwork, the detail and stuff that she puts into it. Oh, I love it so much. So, very successful Goodwill day. Then we went to the library, and my library, I'm so happy. When I first moved to Tennessee, they didn't, but in the last couple of years, they've added a used books like for sale section, which is amazing. I love that. When I lived in Virginia, the library that I went to all the time there had a amazing used book section for sale, and everything was $1. And it's the same thing with this library. And so where I was living, it was kind of a retiree town, and so I'm assuming there were a lot of estates and stuff, and so there were so many amazing books that would go to that library in Virginia, and I could get them for $1. Here, it's not quite as good, but I check it every time I go in, and I've definitely found some gems. But today, I found The Quiet Little Woman, A Christmas Story by Louisa May Alcott. I love Louisa May Alcott. She's one of my favorite authors ever. I love so many of her stories, but I also really enjoy her like short story collections. They're so fun and quick and easy to read, and I just love them so much. So I don't think I've actually read this one. It says that it's like a newly discovered lost treasure thing. So I'm really excited to read that, because it's very slim, so it shouldn't take very long. But I was really happy to grab that. I need to get, I think Louisa May Alcott, there's like Garland for Girls, and then like Aunt Joe's Scrap Bag or something like that. And they're just like short story collections, and I love them so much. They're so good. And then, of course, while I was at the library, as I mentioned, I got Tammy and the Bachelor. And then I grabbed season 3 and 4 of Murder, She Wrote. Because, yeah, slightly obsessed. But, I've been watching it on the Freebie TV or whatever, which is on Amazon, but the ads just annoy me so much. I don't know how you feel, but I feel for me, whenever I watch ads, I feel like I lose brain cells. I don't know what it is. They really annoy me. And so I realized, I was like, oh, I bet you our library has Murder, She Wrote, and it does. It has like all of them. So I'm going to just get those from the library, probably. It's also really annoying when you're right in like the middle of like a really important plot point and then it's like 2 minutes of ads and you're just like, ah. I don't know how people back in the olden days survived watching TV with like 10 minutes of commercials. I would have gone bats. Anyway, last thing that I grabbed, I just grabbed this at Walmart. We have been needing a serving spoon. I don't know how we've survived like almost 2.5 years of being married without a serving spoon, so I got one today. I was like, you know what? Let's not forget this. But yeah, so that's my little haul. I'm going to run downstairs and eat my sandwich before I got some gluten-free bread from Trader Joe's, and it's so good. It's so nice to be able to have an actual sandwich. I'm doing gluten-free if you're new here. Anyway, I'm gonna go and enjoy that in some peace and quiet before baby Tam wakes up, hopefully. And actually, I'm probably gonna try and read a little bit of this. So yeah. Just look at how big he's gotten. I hope you can't hear the wind. I love feeling the wind, but I hope the microphone's not picking it up. It is a gorgeous day outside. It is just lovely. I don't know if this is how you work. Well, actually, if you are someone that has a house with a yard and you live in the country and away from all of the people, enjoy that. Enjoy that. Just enjoy that. On beautiful days, if you're having lovely weather today, just go get a cup of tea and sit out on your porch for me. Like, just do it for my sake. I miss it so much. I miss living in the country. Someday. Someday we're gonna get there. It might be a while. But we'll get there eventually. But yeah, look at this little stinker over here. He's just going all over the place. Yeah. He woke up not too long after I'd finished eating my lunch, so we're up here. He's had his diaper change. He gets so frustrated he hasn't quite figured out the whole crawling thing yet. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Hi. But he can spin around on his stomach, and so he gets like frustrated. He'll be like, because he can't quite get to whatever he's trying to get. Anyway, I'm working on a little cardigan. I'll talk about this more in my next podcast episode, but I actually switched gears. In my most recent episode, I talked about the Joyous baby cardigan that I was making for Micah's cousin, but I was knitting on it one day, and I was sitting out on the back porch. It was one of these like really beautiful, beautiful spring days, and I was getting so warm just sitting there. I was actually wearing this dress. So in a sleeveless dress, I was just getting so warm. And I just had this realization that if it's this warm in Tennessee, it's going to be even warmer in Texas. So I switched gears. I changed, and I decided to quickly instead knit up the baby... No, it's newborn vertebrae cardigan. It's by... This one is the free version. There's a multi-size one that's not free. It's designed by Kelly... Not gonna try and say that last name. But it's just this really simple... I think this design is so clever. I probably would have started with doing this one, but I didn't know that this was a pattern. Until like a couple weeks ago, and so I was like, oh man, I kind of wish I'd known about that. And then after I was sitting out there on the back porch and I was getting warm and whatnot, I was just like, yeah, we're switching, because the biggest difference is this is fingering weight yarn versus like the nice cozy squishy garter DK of the Joyous baby cardigan. So I'm gonna finish the Joyous baby cardigan and I'm going to save it for my future babies, because yeah, Lord willing, fingers crossed, I want more babies. Anyway, so I switched gears and I've been steaming right along. I've got the body done, I've got one sleeve done, and then I decided I'm going to wait to do the next sleeve until I've done the neckline ribbing. As you can see here, it has a garter, or not garter, I Actually, a garter would be really cute. Maybe I'll do that on the next one, because I really want to make several of these. But it's the ribbing, that word. The 1x1 ribbing. I really love the idea because the goal with it is to have an open front cardigan, which means that when you have a tiny little baby, he's so close to crawling. Hi! You want to come over here? You can come over here. Yeah? Come on. Come on. He knows to grab my hand, and I will grab him. Oh, hi. Anyway, it's an open front cardigan so that when you have a tiny little newborn baby who needs to do lots and lots of skin-to-skin time, you can have something that will cover their back and their arms, but it's not covering their chest. So you can put them on, like, I could put the baby on my chest, and they're staying nice and cozy and warm because they've got that cardigan. Yeah. Look at how big he's getting. He's just the sweetest little cutest thing ever. He's my little squishy. And he's got a cloth diaper on, so he's got a fat little butt. A fat little butt. Anyway, so I love the idea of this cardigan. So I fully intend to, once I finish this one, to go ahead and knit another one for my babies. I'll probably knit like 2 or 3 of them, because I think they're so clever. It's such a good idea. And I love the fact that, at least for the newborn size, it's free. Because again, like, newborns wear things for such a short period of time, unless you're this stinker who wore his newborn clothes for a month. Because he was a tiny little sprout. That's the thing, like, he's still very small, but, like, to me, I'm like, compared to what he was, now he's a little chunker. Which is excellent. I approve. This is going to be the most random, weird, rambly, chit-chatty vlog ever. Also, look. Anyway, so yes, I am loving this cardigan pattern. I'm excited. Excuse me. I'm excited to have it done so I can block it. And the thing is that I think it's only going to take like such a little bit of yarn. I'm actually using the leftover Barocco vintage sock that I had in the what was that colorway? Douglas fir colorway that I used to make Micah socks. And I had like 58 grams left, and I'm already mostly done with the cardigan, and I still have a decent amount left. So I'm hoping I have plenty, because I have to do the neckband and I have to do the other sleeve. So I should have more than enough to finish it. But yeah, I highly recommend you check out this pattern if you've never seen it before, because that's the thing, I'd never heard of it in my life. Because I think it's a really clever pattern. So I'll report more on how I feel about it once I get done. Yeah, I need to hurry up and get this done, because I will say it has taken a decent bit longer to do this because it's fingering weight yarn, and I feel like the Joyous Baby cardigan just was going. But I love it. I'm enjoying working on it. Yeah, highly recommend. Anyway, I'm gonna work on this for a bit while he is happy. It might only be for like a few minutes, so. Goodness, the lighting is so much darker down here. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and film an outro for this little odd vlog thing. Little munchkin man here is now hanging out in a diaper, because that's what you do when you spit up all over everything like 3 times in a row, repeatedly. Yeah. So he's just hanging out. He had a little bit of a nap. We went for a walk, and he was kind of fussy, so I fed him, and he took a nap. So it wasn't a very long nap, but what you gonna do? So we're just gonna chill. Micah should be home in about 30-45 minutes. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try and watch a little bit of a Murder, She Wrote episode and play with this little Munchie Moo. We're just gonna have some, Trader Joe's has a really great canned chili. They had a one that had meat in it, and then they have just a vegetarian chili. Both of them are very good. So I'm just going to do that with some rice for supper tonight. I was going to do something else, but then we've had a bunch of errands and whatnot, so I'm tired. So we're just going for easy peasy supper tonight. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching it, if you did, all the way through to the end. It was, like I said, kind of a weird one, but I had fun, so, you know. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I hope that you all have a lovely day, and I will see you hopefully very soon on the next one. I'm actually thinking about trying to film another podcast episode, either... when did I upload my last one? Was that last weekend? I might do another one this coming weekend or the weekend after. I'm thinking about doing a second one in March, just because I have been able to do a decent amount of knitting and working on a couple of projects, so we'll see. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!